Dean Lenore de la Cruz, College Secretary Paul Muego, former deans, officials of the college, esteemed faculty, and alumni, led by the Alumni Association President, former Representative Willie Villarama. Nice to see you again, sir. Lagi ko po kayo nakikita. Proud parents sa ating mga bagong organisador ng bayan, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Una sa lahat, ang aking matamis na pagbati at pagpupugay sa ating mga nagsitapos. Palakpakan niyo po ang sarili niyo. Pagpupugay rin sa kanilang mga magulang, kamag-anak, mga guardians, na mga gumabay sa kanila at nagsakripisyo para marating nila ang napaka-espesyal na bahagi ito ng kanilang buhay. Congratulations po sa inyo. Happy grandparents din po sa lahat ng mga lolo at lola. Isa na rin po ako doon, 2 na po ang apo ko. Nung umalis po ako sa bahay kanina sa Parañaque, napakalakas po ng ulan. Akala ko nga ho umuulan din dito o baka mamaya pa siguro uulan. At ang balita, meron na naman daw meron na namang parating na weather condition, LPA or baka bagyo. At sana naman wag nang magdulot o mag-result ng matindi na naman na baha. Kasi naman, yung mga reclamation projects na yan, at yung mga libo-libong mga pondo para sa supposedly flood control projects natin. Pero ayaw ko pong sirain ang okasyon na ito, ang mood ng okasyon na ito para maglitanya ng mga napapansin natin, grabe naman mga pagsubok sa ating bansa. Napakadami pong problema. Pero today is a very special day. Let's just celebrate. Let's just forget for the moment all those issues. I'd like to be very serious today. Nothing illustrates the importance of the autonomous actions of a critical and engaged citizenry more than the struggle that we have undergone in the 6 years of the past administration. During this period, we tried to put an end to the abominable notion that social progress can be achieved through a program of social cleansing. No two phrases could be more diametrically opposed to each other. And yet, this is what we were faced with when the Duterte regime professed the centuries-old fallacy instead of diversity and tolerance. In Duterte's drug war, the victimized, powerless minority were the urban poor living in extreme poverty. In the early days of the drug war, I tried to save as many lives as I can by making it difficult for the Duterte administration to carry out EJKs without the corresponding accountability. I conducted a Senate inquiry on the drug war killings that were then taking place at an average of 20 to 30 per day. In response to this legitimate exercise of checking the abuses of the executive, I was myself subjected to investigation by the House of Representatives using bogus complaints manufactured by Duterte's men and my political enemies who united to destroy me. In a sense, they succeeded when they managed to throw me in prison for more than 6 years. Throughout my years in an unjust detention, I had the privilege of listening to the stories of courageous individuals who have been directly impacted by systemic injustices. Once, on my first few months of detention, a visitor told me, "Mahirap, Senator, pero kailangan nating igpawan ang mga pag-aalinlangan." During those times, I must admit it was all rhetoric to me. It was easy to speak of overcoming doubts and challenges in theory, But living through the harsh reality of detention made it a far more complex and daunting notion. In the isolation of my cell, it was difficult to see beyond the immediate struggles and envision a path towards meaningful change. All I remember was the first day I saw the detention cell, which would serve as my office and quarters for almost 7 years. Bagong pintura, parang hinanda talaga para sa akin. To this day, I can still remember the smell of the white paint, fresh and overpowering. I am telling you this because, as I might have mentioned during the CSWCD week, I was with you, remember that? I do not want to romanticize what I have been through. But what is clear to many of us is that I was a victim of massive character assassination, vicious vilification, and slut shaming. A clear victim of verbal abuse and psychological violence by no less than the then highest official of the land. The reality of my detention was harsh and unyielding, and it is important to acknowledge the raw truth of that experience. There was nothing glamorous about the confinement. It was a place designed to isolate, to confine, and to suppress. Each day was a reminder of the relentless struggle faced by those who endure similar or even worse conditions. What I want to convey to you is that real change and advocacy come not from a place of glorified suffering, but from a place of deep, unflinching honesty about the realities of injustice. It is about acknowledging the pain and hardship while refusing to let it define or defeat you. It is about taking the lessons learned from those painful experiences and using them as a foundation for a positive mindset and meaningful action. As social workers and community organizers, you know how important it is to understand that a struggle against injustice is not something to be romanticized or idealized. It is gritty, difficult, and often discouraging. You know how crucial it is to remain grounded in this reality. The challenges we face are significant, and the road ahead are still filled with obstacles. But by facing these challenges head on and confronting them with integrity and determination, we will contribute to a more honest and effective approach to social justice. This is what makes Igpaw a beautiful, powerful word. How can one word make you envision a graceful transformation like a caterpillar gaining its wings, and yet hit you with a sense of urgency at the same time, almost to the point of panic? Indeed, the beauty of Igpaw is that it is a call to action to fight for a world where every individual can thrive, where communities are united in solidarity, and where systemic injustices are dismantled. While I was contemplating on what to say today, I was struck by the weight of responsibilities you have on your shoulders as community organizers. From overcoming your personal limitations and ingrained beliefs to guiding communities in overcoming their own limitations. I know this is not a walk in the park. When you are dealt with unrelenting injustice, it is tempting to just stop struggling. Kumbaga daw po sa mga hold up, huwag ka na magpumiglas for your own safety, for self-preservation. I talked about this during our CSWCD week. The gnawing fear of the what-ifs. What if I will never see my family again? What if I will die tonight? And what if the world will move on and forget about me? For really, when you have your own heavy burdens to carry, hindi naman siguro pagiging makasarili kung hindi na ako makikialam sa problema ng mundo. I had those initial thoughts during my first years in detention, despite being aware that I will always have a support network here and abroad who will fight for and tell my story to the world. We had volunteers in the office before who candidly told me about their frustrations with community organizing. Sen, yung tinulungan mo po na paano ilalaban yung kaso ng anak nila, pagdating sa dulo, ayaw na, kasi baka pag-initan ng barangay. Sen, araw-araw binubugbog ng asawa, pati mga anak. Ayaw magpabarangay kasi magugutom sila kapag nakulong ang asawa. Ang ama, they spoke of the harsh realities faced by those they sought to help. Families fearful of retaliation or retribution. Individuals enduring everyday violence and unable to seek help for fear of worsening their situation. These experiences highlight the layers of vulnerability and powerlessness that many people endure. The fight against systemic injustice is not merely a battle for recognition, but a battle for basic survival and dignity. If you are unjustly detained, you endure more than just the physical confinement. You feel vulnerable. You feel powerless. So imagine ordinary people who suffer every day from systemic injustice. The injustice of always having to struggle to meet basic needs and still not have enough. Laging hindi sapat. Sa kabila ng araw-araw na pagbabanat ng buto. The injustice of feeling like they're always fighting an uphill battle against an indifferent system that marginalizes their existence and silences their cries for help. That at this point, please allow me to talk about social media. Kahit halos po 7 taon po ako walang access to internet. Wala po akong cellphone, wala po akong laptop, wala po akong tablet, wala akong TV, wala akong radio. Despite my limited knowledge of your field, I also am aware that this era of social media has not only changed how we communicate and share information, but also how we mobilize, organize, and advocate for change. A significant aspect of your work now as social workers and community organizers is understanding the impact of social media use on communities. My team told me before that when they went to communities to talk about human rights and about my case, ang mas kalaban nila ay social media. Ang darat na nila sa mga komunidad ay mga taong ang tanging pahinga sa buong araw na pagbabanat ng buto is to scroll through Facebook, where they would find memes plastered with labels like drug trade queen and my face prominently displayed. This was a stark reminder of how social media can be an obstacle to real social change, perpetuating falsehoods that stifle the community's ability to critically assess the situation and advocate for their rights. What is more alarming is that this culture of likes, shares, and retweets has reduced complex social issues to mere sound bites. It created a superficial engagement which gives the false impression of action without generating real-world impact. Napakalaking pag-igpaw din po ang mabago ang pananaw ng mga komunidad sa gamit ng social media. As social media savvy graduates of the College of Social Work and Community Development, you hold a crucial role in shaping how our communities engage with and respond to the issues that matter most. Your deep understanding of social media dynamics places you at the forefront of a new era in community organizing. You have the potential to transform how communities interact with social issues, ensuring that digital engagement becomes a catalyst for real social transformation rather than a barrier to it. I've been trying to find the perfect English equivalent of Igpaw. Forgive my ignorance in my attempt to give justice to this beautiful word. I hope you will indulge me later with a more extensive discussion on this, as I find that no single English word can fully encapsulate its depth and nuances. Let me try though. Perhaps pwede na yung word transcendence Sinasabi rin po kanina yon ni Dean. Kasi ang kabuang esensya ng transcendence ay paghigit ng bago sa lumang kalagayan na hindi na babalik sa pinagmulang lugmok na kalagayan. Linked to transcendence is perseverance or pagpupunyagi. Without perseverance, transcendence cannot occur. It is the relentless effort and enduring commitment to progress that allow for real transformation. In the context of our political landscape, we are witnessing a significant shift. The tables have started to turn on the Dutertes. What was once an entrenched regime that sought to solidify its power through systemic injustices, through senseless killings in the name of war on drugs and authoritarian measures, is now facing a powerful challenge. That there's now changing of the tide. This change embodies the very essence of transcendence. So the relentless struggle against oppression and the courage to confront the injustices have propelled us from a state of subjugation to one of potential liberation and reform. Changes in leadership do not suffice. What is needed is a significant transformation on how we approach justice and accountability. Something that reflects the enduring perseverance of those who have fought tirelessly for a better, more just society. This perseverance, coupled with a collective demand for change, ought to drive the transcendence we so hope for. Let us remember that transcendence is about ensuring that we do not revert to old unjust conditions. It is about maintaining any momentum of change and continuing to push for progress with unwavering dedication. Perseverance is the key. Kaya mahalaga na patuloy na aralin at maunawaan natin ang buong proseso para sa pagbabago ng ating lipunan. At napakalaki ng papel niyo dito bilang mga kabataang social workers at community organizers. As capable and committed youth, it is vital for you to ensure broad participation in the decision-making and policy-making processes of government. You have the opportunity to actively engage in elections. The 2025 and the 2028 elections will be critical. Let's build strong citizen organizations to challenge traditional politicians and drive meaningful reform. Your involvement in these processes is not just a choice, but a responsibility. Social workers and community organizers like you are at the forefront of mobilizing communities and advocating for change. Your work involves understanding the needs of the people you serve, building trust within communities, and pushing for policies that address systemic ills. By participating in local governance and policy discussions, you contribute to shaping the future of your communities. I firmly believe that if we succeed at the local level, we will achieve success in the national arena. The effectiveness of local development initiatives serves as a crucial indicator of the success of national progress. Your efforts in community organizing and social work are integral to this process. They lay the foundation for broader systemic changes by demonstrating what is possible on a smaller scale and inspiring others to follow suit. I have no doubt that each one of you will rise to the occasion. As graduates of the College of Social Work and Community Development, you have been equipped with the knowledge, skills, and ethical framework needed to become effective agents of change. As you be graduates, your role as social workers encompasses a broader mission of social justice and systemic change. Whether you choose to work in grassroots organizations, government agencies, NGOs, or the academe, hindi lang ito trabaho o propesyon. It is a commitment to extend beyond our comfort zones, to confront injustices, and to work tirelessly toward a society where all individuals are treated with dignity and respect. My dear graduates, the lessons I've learned in detention may be limited compared to the insights you have gained through your immersive experiences with the oppressed and the marginalized. But I've also learned in the most painstaking way that my struggle is just a fraction of the struggle of the Filipino people for social change. Congratulations, UP-CSWCD Batch of 2024. Maraming salamat at mabuhay ang bagong henerasyon ng mga tagapagtaguyod ng katarungan at pagbabago. Salamat po.